So I recently just got back from a 3-day canoe trip down the Mattawa River, and for me, the point of it was to shoot waterfalls, and not just any type of waterfall. These waterfalls are only accessible by canoe. They're so remote that you can only get to them along the river. And let me tell you, these waterfalls were 1,000% worth the strenuous paddling. We hauled these canoes across portages, shallow rivers, beaver dams, we ate some really good food, and we made some questionable fashion choices. But honestly, every ache, every sore muscle was so worth it for the photos I get to share with you in this video. For my gear, I packed as light as I could, but still wasn't very light. Huge backpack with all my camera crap in it, and I can tell you the camera crap weighs twice as much as the camping crap, but at least it's a beautiful hike, and so far the terrain is not as bad as I was expecting it to be. It's still really rocky, but not as bad. I packed my Canon R, my 17-40, my 70-200 with 2x extender, and my Ace Pro. The 17-40 was for landscapes, and the 70-200 was for wildlife. Although I'm a little sad because I really didn't get to shoot much wildlife, because the thought of switching lenses while I was in the canoe really scared the crap out of me. I was just so paranoid about dropping my stuff in the lake and never seeing it again. But luckily my Ace Pro 2, my little vlogging camera, is surprisingly a good camera, and it shoots raw. I got some really nice photos with that little tiny camera. Now this was my first real canoe trip. It was 3 days, and the amount of places that just suddenly felt like they were unlocked was unreal. Like places that you could never get to any other time. You can't drive up to these places. You can't really hike up to these places. That part was really, really cool. Also, did you guys know that we have jellyfish in Ontario? Like freshwater jellyfish? Check this out. I had no freaking idea. Honestly would recommend any photographer to try a trip like this, because the amount of shots that you're going to get are incredible, and also the fact that nobody else is there, no tourists, no random passerby. It's completely empty. There's no one there. You have these sites completely to yourself. I would just recommend allotting a certain amount of time or take shorter trips, because over the course of the 3 days, we had to do a lot of paddling, like 20 kilometers a day. So there wasn't really as much time to really sit down and focus on the shots. I really just had that time for the waterfalls, and the spots in between, I kind of had to be quick with my photos. So if you're going to do a canoe trip like this, give yourself time to really stop and take in what you're seeing. That is freaking exhausting. That was like 16-20 kilometers of straight canoeing. Very tiring indeed. And the rivers are not the easiest thing to navigate either, because this year specifically we didn't get a lot of rain, so there were sections where the paddle was actually hitting the bottom of the river. That's how shallow some parts of this river were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total that we have to traverse in order to get the canoes across. And it even got to a point where we basically had to portage our canoe, like walk the canoe down the river, because beaver dams had just completely destroyed the river. We had to get out of the canoe and walk it down the river, and that part sucked, but it was also a really unique experience. But when we finally reached that first waterfall, it was surreal. this is an opportunity to photograph something that nobody else really wants to photograph. Well, not that they really don't want to photograph it, they just don't make the effort to photograph it because it's a lot. It's a lot to pack a canoe, take a canoe down a river just to get a photo. So I understand why people don't want to do it, but the fact that I have photos that most other people don't really want to take because they don't want to make that trek is just a really cool experience.
These falls are sick, like absolutely sick. I'm gonna get my drone out for this, 100%. Alternatively, I could canoe over, but it's really rocky. So I think this might be actually the best case. Look at these falls. I'm definitely going to fly my drone over this. So I don't know how well you can exactly see me right now because the sun is actually coming through the trees into my composition, but I'm just focusing on this rock here and having the falls in the background. This is only my first composition. I'm going to try a couple different ones because I want to maximize my time with this waterfall before we have to get to our next campsite for the night. But I at least wanted to get a shot with something in the foreground to maximize the waterfall. But then I'm just going to take just a generic waterfall shot after, just zoomed in, just the falls in entirely, so I can do like a wide crop, kind of make it look like a mock panorama. I think that should be good. But my settings are currently ISO 100, f20, and a 2-second timer. The reason why I'm doing f20 is because I do have a variable ND filter on here, but I believe it's only 6 stops plus a polarizer. So I have the polarizer on, getting rid of all the reflections in the water, but the 6 or 5 stops that this ND filter has is not enough to combat the brightness of the sun right now. So I've pretty much brought my f-stop all the way up so I can minimize how much light is coming into the camera with the ND filter. Ideally, I'd like to shoot this more at f11, but in this case, I just don't have the ability right now.
Now, even though I love these photos, I still might tweak them a bit. I still might go back and re-edit them. I like them, but I feel like, I don't know, I can't really pinpoint exactly what it is about the coloring that I don't like about it. I edit them the same way I edit all my photos, but there's just something I haven't really quite figured out yet. But comment below if you like the colors or if you think something should change about them. I'm really curious to see what you think.
Honest to God, I don't even know why I bother even using my drone anymore. I can't even fly it. I have it all connected. Everything's good to go, but it says I need internet. It won't let me fly it without internet because it needs to verify that I own the device. So I can't even use it. I have no internet out here. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I just wanted to fly the drone, record it. I own the freaking thing. I should be able to fly it, record it, use it. I don't need to verify that I own the thing. All right, I'm going to take some more shots, but I just needed to vent to you guys about that. I'm going to see if I can try to get over there now without dying. So wish me luck. So this is my other composition. I just have this rock in the bottom lower right, and I have the falls here, but I'm getting a lot of like God rays coming through from the sun. I don't know if that's going to make the photo or break the photo. I kind of like them from looking at the back of my screen, but at the same time, I got to focus stack the scene. I've shot a couple just in case I can't focus stack it. I've shot a couple safety shots where I've just focused in the middle of the photo and just hope for the best. But ideally, I'd like to photo stack these. My settings for this composition are 1 second exposure, f22, ISO 100, polarizer on and ND filter maxed out. The audio for this portion of the video might sound a little bit weird because these falls are really loud. So if the audio sounds a bit weird here, sorry about that. Not much I could do about it, unfortunately. This is what I'm listening to. And then this is with noise canceling on. This is noise canceling on. This is what it sounds like. So quite a difference. Well, I haven't seen the shots, just what they are in the back of my camera, but I think shooting into the sun, which I had no other option, I had no way around it, but I actually think it helped out the photos because just looking at the back of the LCD screen, I think those photos are going to turn out pretty nice. And I've been having a lot of fun with this underwater Insta360 camera, just taking some fun little shots with it. Since I can't use my drone, I have to have fun some other way. Yeah, I'm a little salty about that, but you know what? It is what it is, right? This waterfall, Canoe Access formerly, Parso Falls, probably butchering that name. It's a sick waterfall. Now it's time to canoe for like another 2 hours to our campsite.
Luckily for me, this wasn't the only waterfall along this canoe trip. There was actually another waterfall hidden away in a forest, and we actually decided to camp there that night. When I walked up to the waterfall, it was in the evening, so the sun was setting, and there was no light on the waterfall whatsoever. The forest was pretty dark, which I didn't take the photo then because I just decided the sun will rise tomorrow morning. Hopefully it's a nice morning and we'll get some light across the waterfall.
Unfortunately, it's a bit later in the day now, so there's no light on it at all. So I think I'm gonna have to come back up here tomorrow morning and hope that there's some light peeking through the trees at it. I have no idea if there will be, but I'm gonna try for tomorrow. But they won't make any difference. It'll be either no light or no light, so. But yeah, look at how beautiful that is. It's a bit of a treacherous hike to get up here through all these broken down trees and falling down rocks. But yeah, it's really nice.
But on the way back from that waterfall, back to the campsite, I had this amazing view of the river during golden hour. And I just couldn't not take a photo.
There may not be any light on the waterfall, but there's definitely light here right now. I have a composition here. I'm shooting directly into the sun, but I think I can comp the photos together. One exposed brightly for this grass here, and one underexposed for there, because I can't get an equal shot right now. So I'm shooting two different shots, and I'm hoping I can blend them together to create a nice sort of even image where I have the grass in focus and in the correct exposure. And same with the background. And then tomorrow morning, we're gonna go shoot that waterfall and hope, fingers crossed, that there's some light on that waterfall. We'll see. So I set up my camera facing down the river and the light just looked incredible. So I snapped a couple shots of this island on the river, but I didn't take my camera down right away. I decided to leave my camera up because I thought it might be a cool experience to take a photo after the sun had set, so you just have a little bit of orange glow while everything is in darkness. The sky at the back just has that little bit of glow, and luckily there was actually clouds coming in. Well, I say luckily, I wanted to do some star photography, but with clouds you can't do that, but the clouds were coming in, so I did a long exposure, about 30 seconds, and I let the clouds drift across the sky, so I got this really nice kind of dreamy look with the clouds. But again, comment below. I want to hear which one you think is better. Do you think the golden hour shot is better, or do you think the after dusk shot is better? Personally, I can't decide which one I like better. I think they're both unique in their own way. But the next morning, I woke up
to promising light. The sun was beaming down on our campsite. Everything was bathed in golden light. So I decided to walk up to the waterfall and just cross my fingers and hope to God that there was some light on the waterfall. It's day 3. It's probably about 8 o'clock in the morning now. I think the sun is high enough to maybe have some light on the waterfall. I'm in my sweet motorcycle pajamas hiking up to a waterfall because it's not that far from the campsite, so I didn't feel like changing. But it still looks dark on the waterfall from what I can see, but there is light in the forest now, but maybe not enough to illuminate the part of the waterfall that I want to get. So kind of got to get going. So this might be it. I'm gonna walk up there and see. I just realized I forgot my tripod, so now I gotta go back and get my tripod.
At least we have a little bit of light in the trees. Nothing on the waterfall, but it's better than we had yesterday, I suppose. I really would have liked to have light on the waterfall, but that just doesn't look like it's gonna happen, unfortunately. So I've gone for 1 second exposure, f9, ISO 100, with my ND filter pretty much on just its lowest setting. Polarization, I think I left on. No, I left it on because I kind of like the reflections, so I didn't want to cut down the reflections. So I'm just a little upset that I don't have light on it. I have light all around, but nothing's actually on the waterfall, which is really funny. Oh, I'm actually getting a tiny little bit of light here. Tiny little bit of light there. I might be able to accentuate that. That legit just opened up. So I'm going to take a photo really quick because I don't want to miss that light just in case it goes away. I'm also photo stacking. So I'm taking multiple different I'm taking multiple different focus points in the photo, and then I'm going to layer them on top of each other just because I have a rock directly in front of my lens at its lowest point, and I'm also shooting so far back into the forest at the top of the waterfall that at some point the photo is going to look blurry in one of those sections. So by photo stacking, I can ensure that I have sharpness all the way from front to back of my photo. Again, sorry if the audio sounds a bit weird here. It's just because of that, the rushing water. But I'm happy, I got light. I actually have light on here now. Not a ton, but I'm still happy with that. It's something. It adds another level, another layer to the scene, which I'm super happy about. I'm gonna wait around a bit, see if the light gets a bit better, but I really have to get going soon because we got to get back on the river and head to the last spot. No longer camping, just getting picked up, but I think it's another 16 or 20 kilometer paddle down the river, a couple of portages, which I'm not excited about, but then we're done for the day. And then I can go home and I can edit these photos, but you've already seen them, so this is what this waterfall looks like. That's all I got for you today. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if you want to keep watching, check this video out here. And I think that's it. You guys have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.